Hello and welcome back to the YouTube series where we improved the StackIt AI by implementing AlphaZero and various improvements. I just came back after a longer holiday and I did originally record another video today, but I now sat here in the evening and thought I want to deploy this. And then I thought maybe I record it. It might be interesting for some people to see how to do this. I'm not sure we're going to do the infrastructure side. Maybe I make a separate video about this, but I definitely want to continue this project into a point where I can just put it online. I asked Claude if we have a handover document. This was text-to-speech mistake, but Claude understands me usually. And Claude said last time we added 4 tricks that looked like they broke learning, but they did not. I vaguely remember this differently. I remember it didn't improve in the end. It looked like it's flat and that we had some problems measuring improvement. Yeah, but 2 tests run, sit in version, paused, resumable. Okay, I mean, we're gonna continue here with actually productionizing the UI. So first off, I think we have some uncommitted changes in this repository. It might actually be a lot of them. I'm not sure we did any commits since we started working on AlphaZero. I think it's a good time to make a checkpoint and to commit what we have. Do not commit any binary files, only the files we need for training. If you think it's necessary, a short documentation on how to run these training scripts would be good. As a second part, I want to start productionizing this in the sense that we have a UI where we can play the game. I think currently it's pretty simple UI and we can select Alpha, Beta and Monte Carlo as players. But I now want to add AlphaZero to this as well and improve the UI overall. It should be nicer. I think we can redo it from scratch if we wanted to. What I imagine is we have a game board, we can start game modes, we can do human versus human or human versus AI. And then we can select the AI. For Alpha, Beta and Monte Carlo tree search, I want to have the principal variation, and for AlphaZero, I think it would actually be nice if we could also display what the network is thinking, similar to what we had in our training UI. Maybe we can think about making it user-friendly, because the training UI is maybe pretty technical, and the game UI should actually look like production-ready game play. Okay, I think this will be the prompt. Let's send it off to Claude. I'll pause the video, we come back when Claude is done. Okay, Claude asked me some question. The approach about modes. I feel like I want to chat about this. So the option here is a fresh rewrite with a JSON API and JavaScript, or patch the existing Ginger UI. This one is recommended. Let me think about this a little bit. Actually, maybe this is good. I wanted to ask it what are the advantages and also let it know how and where we want to deploy this. But maybe actually this is good. And then human versus human and human versus AI. Okay. I'll pause again. Okay, Claude finished cooking. Docs added, and we have a server here that is not available. Oh good, typo. Anyway, AlphaZero shows up when trainnet exists for that board size. Tests. Okay. Here's the game. How to play. Nice. Okay. Let's play against AlphaZero. Board size 5, thinking time 5. Start the game. Oh, this is neat. We should probably show it on the board. Yeah, we should probably have this off by default, but this is fun. Interesting. Moves it considered. I think we should make... Oh, 9. This is great. What it expects to happen. 3-2. Now it would play here, but now it tells me this is the most likely. Oh no, this is the most likely. Interesting. Let's play AlphaZero versus AlphaZero. Why would I play here? This is actually pretty neat. Can we stop the game? We also need something. Undo, new game. New game. Let's just quickly see how this changed. Okay. Very simple. New game. Monte Carlo tree search. Oof. Very aggressive. Okay, yeah, I think I like this. And this is good enough to deploy. Yeah, it's good enough to deploy. Now we need to ask Claude if there's anything we need to... Okay, this is very neat. I want to deploy this onto a server that I already have, and I will manage this from a different repository. So maybe in the README you can specify which resources we would need for deploying the server and how to run it, and what kind of setup the agent needs to do on my machine in order to run this. Okay, let me get this over here. Let's quickly check. Let's go into Cloudflare. Okay, it's not loading. That was a long... I will quickly pause this and be back once something interesting happens. Okay, so Claude finished. I gave it a little bit more input on the size of my server and what I needed to write down into a deploy markdown file. Now I have another session in my infrastructure repository. I already had a handover where I said that I'm working on this project. I now ask Claude to read this, and then I will ask it and see if it can deploy this. At the same time, I was about to log into a domain for this. Landing slide, deferred landing plus slides, done, code infra repo. Okay, okay, maybe other stuff mixing in. I want to deploy the StackIt code onto my server. Please look into the repository there. An agent created a deploy markdown file which should have all the information you need in order to run this. And I will set up Cloudflare DNS to resolve to the URL in the meantime. Okay, here we are in Cloudflare. We can go to the domain that I need. I think it should be somewhere in DNS records. And then I think I need to add a record. Let me quickly see. Similar to coffee, Papa can go slides, TD is all my other projects here. Confirmed. Set it DNS only, Grey Cloud. This might need that I have to disable the DNS. Let's see, facts gathered. Now it's writing a deploy script for me. I do not want to show too much of it. I'm not sure if there will be any secrets leaking into this video, but I mean, all of this is pretty much okay to show. Claude handles the deploy script, the service, nginx configuration, and maybe I'm gonna pause the video. Okay, we are back, and it had a little bit of problems with the DNS. It was complaining that I set Cloudflare proxy/DNS to be on, and it tried to get around it or somehow and then I just asked it if I should turn it off, and then it kept configuring. You can see it's actually deploying this and then trying to access it, checking all the other services and so on and so forth. And yeah, I mean, it's not the most secure setup, because it's just my private projects and I'm not gonna advertise it much. I have a very small machine. That's also everything I have for this video, to be honest. At the infrastructure side, what Claude can do for us, let me know. And thank you for watching.